boxing fans here with Frank Warren. Frank, big announcement. Tyson Fury, anytime Tyson's fighting, it's a huge announcement. Just talk to me about how the last couple of months have been for yourself, back and forth with different promoters, different fighters, but you finally got something signed on the line.
Yes, we've been working for, as you say, for the last few months. We was hoping that we was going to be doing the Usyk fight in December, but Usyk said he's not going to fight till next year, so that if that takes place, it'll be late February, early March. And then we wasted a month on AJ trying to make that fight, and it just didn't happen.
Derek Chisora, part 3. Just talk to me about what you've seen in Derek, what changes you've seen in Derek, because people are saying the later he's gone in his career, the better he's become. What have you seen in Derek, and what can he provide to Tyson Fury on December 3rd?
I think he'll give him a fight. Do I think he'll beat Tyson? No. Do I think Usyk would beat Tyson? No. Do I think that Joshua would beat Tyson? No. He's the best heavyweight on the planet. But he'll come to fight, and he knows, in my opinion, I don't think he knows he can't outbox him, so he's going to come to war. You've
been with a lot of fighters throughout the whole, I don't know how many years you've been sort of promoting, but it must have been frustrating with what's gone on in the last couple of months. Obviously, the Joshua fight was the fight that...
Pathetic. The whole thing, we just wasted a lot of time. And Frank Smith, at least yesterday when he done his interview, came out and said something that was the truth of the matter, and that was they said that they didn't think their man was ready. It's too short a time. But I wish they'd have told us that a month before.
Fair enough. There's something I saw online was that potentially this fight with Derek Chisora could have been done a lot earlier. There was talks and contracts sent a long time ago, and whilst the AJ talks were going on,
they asked for more money, and it didn't work. So we knocked it on the head, and then we revisited it after the fight fell through with Joshua.
How many fights has Tyson Fury got left? Because he does talk about retirement. He's come off a retirement per se.
He's got as many fights as he wants to have. He's his own man, and he decides. What do I think personally? We've got no miles on the clock. How many fights he had in the last few years? He's only had one this year up to as yet. He had that time out because of COVID, so he's not had a lot of fights, and he's not, as I say, he's not got a lot of wear and tear on him. I think he could go on for a while. You look at him; he's as fit as anything, and as I say, I think he's got the beating of every heavyweight out there at the moment.
Can fights with bigger fights, we're looking at the Usyk fight initially, hopefully it's going to happen in 2023 for the British fans, for myself, and want to see the Anthony Joshua fight, but can talks restart at some point to get that fight that the fans want to see, that we want to see? I think you'd love to see as well, Frank, but...
We tried to make it. Can we see it? I don't know what he's doing, Joshua. I mean, look, first of all, he is not the A side of this. Tyson's the champion. He was given a great opportunity, 40% of the profits, and it didn't happen. So that's it. And I'm not going to go down that road again.
Are your relationships still sort of okay for you guys to rediscuss if it had to be?
Nothing to discuss. Okay. He's going to fight. If he comes through this fight, he's going to fight Usyk afterwards. That's where we are. And maybe after that, he'll fight Joe Joyce. That's where we are.
Daniel Dubois back in the ring after picking up his WBA regular belt. Just talk to me. He's not here today, so we can't really chat to him. But
we're doing something with next week.
Okay. How is he? And it's been a long time for him as well.
Yeah, he's been a bit frustrated, but he's all that hanging around waiting for the O'Brien fight. But he got it over the line and done what he had to do. Now we're he's back out again, and he's in with a good opponent. The guy's. He's had 30 odd fights or whatever it is, and only lost one, and that was 8 years ago, a points decision, and he reversed that by stopping the guy. Fought a cruiserweight, and he's come up now and he fights. Been fighting a heavyweight, so Southport. I think he's going to pose some serious questions for Daniel to answer.
Has Daniel been paid by Don King? Yeah, we know he has been paid. Yeah. Perfect. Big announcement from yourself. Good fight, Zach Parker. John Ryder, great announcement. Just talk to me about how that fight came together and what we're looking at in regards to the rest of the card.
It came about because we made it happen. We made an offer, and John wanted it, and Zach wanted it, so we made it happen. It's for the interim title, which is great. So the winner of that fight becomes the mandatory to Canelo. So it's a great fight and a great prize for the winner. The undercard, we have Dennis McCann on there, his Commonwealth title, and there's some other fights that we'll be announcing.
Just two final ones.
Hamza will be fighting on there, Hamza Shiraz.
Okay. Two final questions. We saw the return of Deontay Wilder back in the ring on Saturday night. First round knockout against Robert Helenius. Just talk to me about Deontay Wilder. I know Tyson's had them 3 epic fights with him, but what more can Deontay Wilder add to this heavyweight division?
Well, you see what he adds. On Saturday, he had spectacular knockouts. That's what he does. I mean, he had spectacular fights with Tyson. He caught Tyson a few times in fights and put him on the floor. He's a dangerous, dangerous man.
Final one from myself. A couple of weeks ago, we saw we have a black mark on boxing in regards to the Conor Benn, Chris Eubank failed drugs test, and that week wasn't good for boxing. I spoke to a lot of fighters and a lot of people in boxing. What needs to happen now, Frank, going forward to ensure we don't get anything like that or anything going forward? I'm sure the promoters and everyone want to get together and come up with some sort of solution.
It's not for the promoters to get together, it's for the Boxing Board of Control to deal with it. They're the governing body. As regarding what should happen, the first thing is they should have a hearing on this, and the test results should be made available to UCAD. I understand they've asked for them, and they should have a hearing. And if it's found that the B sample is negative or it's contaminated, then Conor will be allowed to fight on. If he's not, he'll be banned for using a banned substance. That's just what needs to be done. Transparency regarding what should be happening. Boxing Board of Control regulate the sport. They should make it in their regulation. They shouldn't mess about with it. They should have a special meeting and put a regulation in there that when a boxer is licensed by the Boxing Board of Control, he adheres to the regulations. And one of those regulations should be, if any boxer fails a test of a valid drug agency like a WADA, or whatever it may be, any of those agencies, those results must be made available to UCAD and the board so that they can conduct a hearing and get it dealt with. It's really simple. That's what they need to do.